All right, folks, welcome in and God bless you. Today we're going to be covering the book of Ezra. I want to do it all in one day, but we'll see what happens, right? So, yesterday we went over Second Chronicles, which takes place after the death of David. All right, so um, it goes all the way to the time that King uh, Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon had, um, captured Judah after they have failed to reconcile with the Lord. So um, that happened, and then eventually King Cyrus of Persia would restore glory to Judah, to Jerusalem, and to all the people there. So, yeah. So, yeah, folks, that's what's going on right now. And um, now we are in the book of Ezra, chapter 1. Before we start, let's take a moment to pray. I'll go over there. And y'all pray amongst yourselves in the meantime, but I'll go over there. Folks, welcome back. And if you prayed, that is great. Now, if you didn't pray, nothing's going to stop you. But yeah, folks, welcome back. And we're going to read chapter 1 of Ezra. So, this chapter 1 is titled Cyrus's Proclamation and Holy Vessels Restored. So, this takes place after the invasion of that Nebuchadnezzar sent on Judah. I always conflate Judah and Israel together, and I'm not sure if you know. Oh well. Let's read chapter 1, Cyrus's proclamation. Now, the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, so that he sent a proclamation throughout his kingdom and also put it in writing, saying, "This is what Cyrus, king of Persia, says. The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth and has appointed me to rebuild for him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Whoever there is among you of all his people, may his God be with him. Go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and rebuild the house of the Lord, the God of Israel. He is the God who is in Jerusalem. And every survivor at whatever place he may live, the people of that place are to support him with silver and gold, with equipment and cattle, together with a voluntary offering for the house of God, which is in Jerusalem." Holy vessels restored. Then the heads of fathers' households of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites rose up, everyone whose spirit God had stirred to go up to rebuild the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem. And all of those around them encouraged them with articles of silver, with gold, with equipment, cattle, and with valuables, aside from everything that was given as a voluntary offering. Also, King Cyrus brought out the articles of the house of the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar had carried away from Jerusalem and put in the house of his gods. And Cyrus, king of Persia, had them brought out by the hand of Mithridates the treasurer, and he counted them out to Sheshbazzar, the leader of Judah. Now this was their number: 30 gold dishes, 1,000 silver dishes, 29 duplicates, 30 gold bowls, 410 silver bowls of the second kind, and 1,000 other articles. All of the articles of gold and silver totaled 5,400. Sheshbazzar brought them all up with the exiles who went up from Babylon to Jerusalem. So again, continuing off of 2nd Chronicles, Cyrus says, "May the Lord be with you all, who the Lord is with." And what else? He says that he is the God in Jerusalem. Now, he also asked for silver and gold utensils and silverware to supplement the house of the Lord. Therefore, they restore these vessels up to the house, and thus rebuild the way the house of the Lord. So chapter 1 is Cyrus encourages the people to follow the Lord, just as King Hezekiah and King Josiah had followed the Lord once before this terrible invasion had happened. Chapter 2, number of those returning. Now these are the people of the province who came up out of the captivity of the exiles who Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had taken into exile to Babylon. And they returned to Jerusalem and Judah, each to a city. These came with Zerubbabel, Jeshua, Nehemiah, Seraiah, Reelaiah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mizpar, Bigvai, Rehum, and Bana, or Bana, whatever. This is the number of the men of the people of Israel, the sons of Parash, 2,172. The sons of Shephatiah, 372. The sons of Era, 775. The sons of Pahath Moab, of the sons of Jeshua and Joab, 2,812. The sons of Elam, 1,254. The sons of Zadu, 945. The sons of Zakkai, 760. The sons of Babai, 623. The sons of Azgad, 1,222. The sons of Adonikam, 666. The sons of Vigbai, 2,056. The sons of Aden, or Adin, 454. Sons of Ader of Hezekiah, 98. The sons of Bezai, 323. The sons of Jorah, 112. The sons of Hashum, 223. The sons of Gibar, 95. The men of Bethlehem, 123. The men of Netopha, 56. The men of Anathoth, 128. The sons of Asmaveth, 42. The sons of Kiriatharim, Kephira and Beroth, 743. The sons of Ram and Geba, 621. The men of Michmas, 122. The men of Bethel and Ai, 223. The sons of Nebo, 52. The sons of Magbish, 156. The sons of the other Elam, 1,254. The sons of Harim, 320. The sons of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 725. The men of Jericho, 345. The sons of Seneh, 3,630. Priests returning. The priests of the sons of Judea of the house of Joshua, 973. The sons of Immer, 1,052. The sons of Pashur, 1,247. The sons of Harim, 1,017. The Levites returning. The Levites, the sons of Jeshua and Kadmiel, the sons of Hodaviah, 74. The singers, the sons of Asaph, 128. The sons of the gatekeepers, the sons of Shallum, the sons of Ader, the sons of Talmon, the sons of Akub, the sons of Hadida, and the sons of Shohai, 139 in all. The temple servants, the sons of Zia, the sons of Hasupha, the sons of Tabaoth, the sons of Keros, the sons of Siaha, the sons of Padan, the sons of Lebanah, the sons of Hagabah, the sons of Akub, the sons of Hagab, the sons of Shalmai, the sons of Hanan, the sons of Gidel, the sons of Gar, the sons of Reaiah, the sons of Rezin, the sons of Nakoda, the sons of Gazam, the sons of Uzzah, the sons of Pasia, the sons of Basai, the sons of Asna, the sons of Meuim, and the sons of Nephisim, the sons of Bakbuk, the sons of Hakupha, the sons of Harher, the sons of Baslith, the sons of Mehia, the sons of Harsha, the sons of Barkos, the sons of Sisera, the sons of Tema, the sons of Neziah, the sons of Hatipha, the sons of Solomon's servants, the sons of Sodai, the sons of Hassophereth, the sons of Peruda, the sons of Jalad, the sons of Darkon, the sons of Gidel, the sons of Shephatiah, the sons of Hatil, the sons of Pochirith Hasbaim, and the sons of Ami. All the temple servants and the sons of Solomon's servants totaled 392. Now these were the ones who came up from Tel Melah, Tel Harsha, Cherub, Adon, and Immer, but they were not able to provide evidence of their fathers' households and their descendants for whether they were of Israel. The sons of Delaiah, the sons of Tobiah, and the sons of Nakoda, 652. Priests removed. Of the sons of the priests, the sons of Hobaiah, the sons of Hagkaz, the sons of Barzillai, who took a wife from the daughters of Barzillai the Gileadite, and he was called by their name. These searched among their genealogical registration, but they could not be located, so they were considered defiled and excluded from priesthood. The governor said to them that they were not to eat from the most holy things until the priest stood up with Urim and Thummim. The whole assembly together totaled 42,360, beside their male and female slaves who totaled 7,337, and they had 200 singing men and women. Their horses numbered 736, their mules 245, their camels 435, their donkeys 6,720. So the heads of the fathers' households, when they arrived at the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem, offered willingly for the house of God to erect it on its site. According to their ability, they gave to the treasury for the work 61,000 gold drachmas, 5,000 gold silver minas, and 100 priestly garments. Now the priests and the Levites, some of the people, the singers, the gatekeepers, and the temple servants lived in their cities, and all Israel in their cities. I know. That was a mouthful. I get it. But we got through it. Um, so, without going into much detail, it's all this is about, the people who were in Israel and those who were held as slaves who came back, and the priests and the Levites and those who served in the house of the Lord returning as well, and also the number of those who were removed from priesthood and the whole assembly. And yeah, that's what it was about. So, yeah, folks, that's chapter 2. When we come back, I'll be back in just a moment, but I'm going to come back with chapter 3. And yeah, folks, 1/5 of the book of Ezra done. So, be right back. By the way, if you're wondering why my hair looks weird, it's because I took a bath. I have wet hair right now, so it's gonna take some time for it to dry, so I'll be right back. Okay, folks, I'm back, and we're back with chapter 3. So let's start with altar and sacrifices restored. Now, when the 7th month came and the sons of Israel were in the cities, the people gathered together as one person to Jerusalem. Then Joshua the son of Jozadak and his brothers, the priests, and Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel and his brothers, rose up and built an altar of the Lord, or the God of Israel, to offer burnt offerings on it, as it is written in the law of Moses, the man of God. So they set up the altar on its foundation because they were terrified of the peoples of the land, and they offered burnt offerings on it to the Lord. Burnt offerings morning and evening. Gonna have to take the water in just a moment. They also celebrated the Feast of Booths, as it is written, and offered the prescribed numbers of burnt offerings daily, according to the ordinance, as each day required. And afterward there was a continual burnt offering also for the new moons and for all the appointed festivals of the Lord that were consecrated, and from everyone who offered a voluntary offering to the Lord. From the first day of the seventh month they began to offer burnt offerings to the Lord, but the foundation of the temple of the Lord had not been laid. Then they gave money to the masons and the carpenters, food, drink, and oil to the Sidonians and the Tyrians to bring cedar wood from Lebanon to the sea at Joppa, according to the permission they had from Cyrus, king of Persia. Chapter 3. So, just like King Josiah, King Hezekiah, and I believe Joash, and maybe Amaziah, not probably not, but all these kings who did well in the sight of the Lord, the sons of Israel restored the temple to worship condition, as it was written in the next section called Temple Restoration Begun. Sorry, folks, I'm thirsty. All right. Now, in the second year of their coming to the house of God in Jerusalem, in the second month, Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, the Yeshua, the son of Josadak, and the rest of the brothers, the priests and the Levites, and all who came from the captivity to Jerusalem, began the work and appointed the Levites who were 20 years old and upward to oversee the work of the house of the Lord. Then Joshua with his sons and brothers stood united with Kadmiel and his sons, the sons of Judah, and the sons of Henadad, with their sons, the brothers, the Levites, to oversee the workmen in the temple of God. Now, when the builders had laid the foundation of the temple of the Lord, the priests stood in their apparel with trumpets, and the Levites, the sons of Asaph, with cymbals, to praise the Lord according to the directions of King David of Israel. And they sang, praising and giving thanks to the Lord, saying, "For he is good, for his favor is upon Israel forever." And all the people shouted with a great shout of joy when they praised the Lord, because the foundation of the house of the Lord was laid. Yet many of the priests and Levites and the heads of the fathers' households, the old men who had seen the first temple, wept with a loud voice when the foundation of this house was laid before their eyes, while many shouted aloud for joy, so that the people could not distinguish the sound of the shout of joy from the sound of the weeping of the people, because the people were shouting with a loud shout, and the sound was heard far away. So they restore the temple to worship foundation or condition, and they give their worship, and they hold the feasts that they held when, say, Hezekiah or Josiah were there. They hold those feasts once again, just as God intended, and some of them people were weeping, others were shouting. I'm not sure if they're shouting tears of joy or weeping tears of joy or what, but there was weeping, there was shouting of all magnitudes, and it was awesome. Um, so yeah, chapter 3 is they restore the traditions and the worship and a temple so that they could worship there. Let me take another water break, and we'll get through with chapter 4. Enemies hinder the work. Now, when the enemies of Judah and Benjamin heard that the people of the exile were building a temple to the Lord God of Israel, They approached Zerubbabel and the heads of fathers' households and said to them, let us build with you, for like you we seek your God, and we have been sacrificing to him since the days of Esarhaddon, the king of Assyria, who brought us up here. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the heads of the fathers' households of Israel said to them, you have nothing in common with us in building a house to our God, but we ourselves will build for the Lord God of Israel, just as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, has commanded us. Then the people of the land discouraged the people of Judah and frightened them from building, and bribed advisers against them to frustrate their advice all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. Now in the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, they wrote an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. And in the days of Artaxerxes, Bishlam, Mithridath, Tabeel, and the rest of the colleagues wrote to Artaxerxes, king of Persia. And the text of the letter was written in Aramaic and translated from Aramaic. The letter to King Artaxerxes. Raham the commander and Shimshai the scribe wrote a letter against Jerusalem to King Artaxerxes as follows. Raham the commander, Shimshai the scribe, and the rest of their colleagues, the judges, and the lesser governors, the officials, the secretaries, the men of Erech, the Babylonians, the men of Susa, that is, the Elamites, and the rest of the nations, which the great and honorable Osnapper deported and settled in the city of Samaria and the rest of the region of beyond the Euphrates River. And now this is the copy of the letter which they sent to him. To King Artaxerxes, your servants, the men of the region beyond the Euphrates River, and now let it be known to the king that the Jews who came up from you have come to us at Jerusalem. They are rebuilding the rebellious and evil city and are finishing the walls and repairing the foundations. Now, let it be known to the king that if that city is rebuilt and the walls are finished, they will not pay tribute, custom tax, or toll, and it will be detrimental to the revenue of the kings. Now, because we are in the service of the palace, and it is not fitting for us to see the king's shame, for this reason we have sent word and informed the king so that a search may be conducted in the record books uh, record books of your fathers. And you will discover in the record books and learn that the city is a rebellious city and detrimental to kings and provinces, and they have revolted within it in the past days. For this reason, that city was laid waste. We are informing the king that if the city is rebuilt and the walls finished, then as a result of this, you will have no possession in the province of beyond the Euphrates River. The king replies and work stops. Then the king sent a response to Raham the commander, Shimshai the scribe, and to the rest of the colleagues who live in Samaria and in the rest of the provinces beyond the Euphrates River. Peace, and now the document which you have sent to us has been translated and read before me, and a decree has been issued by me, and a search has been conducted, and it has been discovered that the city has risen up against the kings in past days, and that rebellion and revolt have been perpetrated in it, that mighty kings have ruled over Jerusalem, governing all the provinces beyond the Euphrates River, and that tribute, custom tax, and toll were paid to them. Now issue a decree to make those men stop work, so that this city will not be rebuilt until a decree is issued by me. And beware of being negligent to carry out this matter. Why should there be great damage to the detriment of the kings? As soon as a copy of King Artaxerxes' decree was read before Raham and Shimshai, the scribe, and their colleagues, they went in a hurry to Jerusalem to the Jews and stopped them by military force. Then work on the house of God in Jerusalem was discontinued, and it was stopped until the second year of the reign of Darius, king of Persia. So, there's some people in chapter 5, of course, who want to build along with the Lord, the house of the Lord, build along with the other people, rather. Now, I'm not sure if they really want to build a house, or they are just jealous and just want to mess around and stop construction. But nevertheless, um, they say, "Can we construct with you?" And then the people who are constructing are like, "You're not like us. We'll construct it ourselves." So these people, um, the enemies of Judah and Benjamin, they caused all the people to be discouraged from building the house of the Lord. They even went as far as making a letter to King Artaxerxes, which they said, "Look, they have rebelled in the past, so therefore it'll be an absolute loss if this city is rebuilt, Judah, Jerusalem. So therefore we must stop this." And then the king listens and stops construction there. And believe it or not, that's how the devil uses your past sins. He discourages us from continuing whatever just because we have sinned in the past. The devil tries to use your past sins to discourage you from, whatever you want in your walk with the Lord. So the fruit of this one is courage and perseverance, because the devil will not want you to go further. He wants you to be stuck in your sin, and that's what's happening. These enemies want the people who are constructing the house of the Lord to be stuck with their sin and convicted for it, even though they already face punishment, and even though it's past them. So that's how the devil works. So, chapter 4, the enemies of those who are constructing successfully get them to stop construction of the house of the Lord. So that's chapter 4. We'll be right back with chapter 5 in about 2 minutes. There, folks. Be right back. I just forgot to put these other things. Be right back in just a moment. Okay, we are back for the next chapter, which is chapter 5. And then we'll see if we continue or we stop. Let's see. But yeah, chapter 5 is called Temple Temple Work Resumed. There's probably more chapters to that, but stay. When the prophets Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah, the son of Iddo, prophesied to the Jews who were in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of the God of Israel who was over them, then Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua, the son of Josadak, rose up and began to rebuild the house of the Lord, the house of God, which is in Jerusalem. And the prophets of God were with them, supporting them. At that time, Tatnai, the governor of the province beyond the Euphrates River, and Shetharbozenai and their colleagues came to them and spoke to them as follows: Who issued you to a decree to build this temple and to finish this structure? And we told them accordingly what the names of the men who were reconstructing this building. But the eye of their God was on the elders of the Jews, and they did not stop them until the report could reach Darius, and then the decree concerning it could be sent back. Enemies writes Darius. This is the copy of the letter of that Tatnai, the governor of the province beyond the Euphrates River, and Shetharbozenai and his colleagues, the officials, who were beyond the river, sent to Darius the king. They sent the report to him in which it was written as follows: To Darius the king, all peace. May it be known to the king that we have gone to the province of Judah to the house of the great God, which is being built with large stones, and beams are being laid in the walls, and this work is being performed with great care and is succeeding in their hands. Then we asked those elders and said to them as follows: Who issued you a decree to rebuild this temple and to finish the structure? We also asked them their names so as to inform you that in order we might write down the names of the men who were in charge. So they answered us as follows, saying, We are the servants of the God of heaven and earth, and are rebuilding the temple that was built many years ago, which a great king of Israel built and finished. But because our fathers provoked the God of heaven to wrath, he handed it over to Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, the Chaldean, who destroyed this temple and deported the people to Babylon. However, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Babylon, King Cyrus issued a decree to rebuild this house of God. Also, the gold and silver utensils of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple in Jerusalem and brought them to the temple of Babylon. King Cyrus took them from the temple of Babylon, and they were given to one whose name was Sheshbazzar, who he appointed governor. And he said to him, Take these utensils, go and deposit them in a temple in Jerusalem, and have the house of God rebuilt in its place. Then that Sheshbazzar came and laid the foundations of the house of God in Jerusalem, and from then until now it has been under construction and is now yet completed. And now, if it pleases the king, let a search be conducted in the king's treasure house, which is there in Babylon, as to whether a decree was issued by King Cyrus to rebuild this house of God in Jerusalem, and let the king send to us his decision concerning this matter. Oh, we have somebody in the chat. Oh, Metro, sad one, hungry one. There's too much food. I'm not hungry. Nomikomas. Where did you get nomikomas? You. I see you say that all the time now. Where did you get nomikomas? And God bless you, Metro, and welcome in also. Um, yeah, chapter 5, temple work resumed. So the prophets Haggai and Zechariah, they prophesied to the Jews on behalf of the Lord to continue construction of the house of the Lord. And then these same enemies who are who told you could build, they do not want the temple built, but rather they go to Darius and ask him, we've seen this happen, we said this, and they said this. Now, please find a search to determine whether it's right to be to be, whether it's lawful to continue building a house, basically. Bro, do you realize what you're reading is old history, right? Why not move on to modern history? Well, we have to read this in order to complete the Bible. It's going to take like 100 more days, I guess, until we can get to the New Testament, right? No, but in reality, I do want to read this anyway, from start to finish, in order that it comes here in the book, in the Bible. So it's making way for the more recent of histories to take place. And while I'm not going to understand it all, it's still worth a shot regardless. I mean, like, what not? But it already happened, though. Alright, well, what modern history do you want to read then? Give me an example. When your breakup happened in 200,000 BC and you still can't move on, be like, well, when Jesus says you'll give the sign of Jonah, or he'll give the sign of Jonah, then you'll be like, what is the sign of Jonah? Son of Jonah is in the Old Testament. Or if you want to know what the law of Moses is, then look back in old history books for the law of Moses. So until you provide me something you want to read, and regardless, I'm going to keep on reading. Jonah Hill. All right, you told me you want modern history. Um, what modern history are you wanting to talk about? I'll wait. I'll wait until 4:30. So yeah, chapter 5. Again, the enemies want to write to. I'll show you where I got where where. The state of the world right now, politics, social issues in 2026. Oh, oh, you want modern politics? Want to talk about how Trump gave the medal to Connor Hellebuck, the goaltender of the Winnipeg Jets? Well, that's one thing. And then I know the Democrats were not happy about that. They one of them said, I left earlier before he could award the medal. It's like an award show. I think that's what she said, something like that. What else? State of the Union happened. Um, Also, Mexico, they had the cartel leader killed, and now the enemy is trying to fight back. But with a little bit of faith, they can go a long way. That's all I'm going to say. Also, apparently, a bunch of people who were into memes, they said, you know what? That's enough memes. We're going to reset our minds and go back to the old memes and stuff. Um, what else? That's it. That's all I've got. So, yeah, we'll read chapters. This is where I got it from. Go to 345. Oh, victorious. That is number 345. Come on, man. Victorious. All 345. Oh, the Spanish language channel. Oh, goodness gracious. No me comas. No me comas. No me comas. It's like a rat being chased by, or not a rat, but a cheese block being chased by mice. The living cheese block. Now, come to think of it, it reminds me in iCarly how there's a Rat Pack, or Pack Rat, which is a knockoff of Pac Man. I remember that game. Pretty nostalgic for me, even though I didn't play it a lot back then. What you think? Yeah, like I said, it reminds me a lot of iCarly game Pack Rat. Give me just a moment. We'll be there in 30 seconds. Count it down. All right. We're back. We're back with something. All right. Chapter 6 is next. Darius finds King Cyrus's decree, which we will come back with. Um, hmm. I forgot about Victorious. Um, I didn't watch it a lot as a kid, but I do remember a little bit that Victoria Justice was a part of it. It's a lot like what's his name? What's the iCarly? Goodness gracious! What's the name of the channel that they're watching it on in the TV show? Is it Univision? SL, Spanish language channel. You think it would be called Univision or Telemundo? The Dingo channel, Spanish language channel, SBI Network, SBI News channel, the Dan Warp channel, and SBI Food. We got Taffy and Toasty, Movie, and then Divertissimo, which is the show No Me Comas from, Deportes, and then extreme groin injuries, all that. News at 7, world news, The Schwimmer Diaries, Zoe 101, that's a drag, and Hungry Girl Top 10. There's going to be I binge watched Victorious for a week. It's on Netflix. There's going to be a sequel called Hollywood Arts. For real? That's the. Oh, wow. Why Hollywood Arts? I wouldn't, think unless I knew about it, which I know just now. If somebody showed me Hollywood arts and tried to say, what show does it remind you of? And they would say, it's supposed to be a or not a knockoff, but a spin-off from Victorious, I'll be like, that doesn't sound anything like Victorious. Cheese, cheeseburgers. I'm Jim Adler, the Texas cheeseburger. By the way, if you want something to binge watch, binge watch some Jim Adler commercials. Here's Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer, one of his ads right there. Go ahead and watch it at your own time. Jim Adler, his hammer. Hollywood arts focuses on the older sister Trina. Oh, yeah. I, in that case, well, yeah, I'm way far off on being educated on Victorious. What else? Well, if you love Victorious, she becomes a teacher at Hollywood Arts and after being a failed actor and trains the next generation of high school kids. Oh, okay. Um, and you said it's on Netflix, right? Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, the Paramount submitted a bid to Warner Brothers that Warner Brothers Discovery says is superior to Netflix, and Netflix is now forced to beef up their uh, offer. So let's see where that goes, folks. Let's see if Paramount can acquire Warner Brothers or if Netflix will stick and hold on. We'll see that on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. And finally, let's finish with Chapter 6. Darius finds Cyrus's decree. Oh, by the way, if you love Victorious, you're gonna love iCarly. iCarly is the OG. All right, here we go. Then King Darius issued a decree, and a search was conducted in the archives where the treasures were stored in Babylon, and in Ecbatana in a fortress, which is in the province of Media, a scroll was found, and the following was written in it. Memorandum. In the first year of King Cyrus, Cyrus the king issued a decree concerning the house of God in Jerusalem. Let the temple, the place where sacrifices are offered, be rebuilt, and let its foundations be repaired, and its height being 60 cubits and its width 60 cubits, 3 layers of large stones and 1 layer of timber. And the cost is to be paid from the royal treasury. Also gold, silver, utensils of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took from the temple in Jerusalem and brought to Babylon, are to be returned and brought to their places in a temple in Jerusalem, and you shall put them in the house of God. Now as for you, Tatnai, governor of the province beyond the Euphrates River, Shetharboznai, and your colleagues, the officials of the provinces beyond the river, stay away from there. Leave that work on the house of God alone. Let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews rebuild that house of God on its site. Furthermore, I issued a decree concerning what you are to do for these elders of Judah in the rebuilding of that house of God. The full cost is to be paid to those people from the royal treasury out of the taxes of the provinces beyond the Euphrates River, and that without interruption. And whatever is needed, bulls, rams, and lambs, for burnt offerings to the God of heaven, and wheat, salt, wine, and anointing oil as the priests in Jerusalem order, it is to be given to them daily without fail, so that they may offer acceptable sacrifices to the God of heaven and pray for the lives of the kings of his sons. And I issued a decree that any person who violates this decree, a timber shall be pulled out of his house, and he shall be impaled on it, and his house shall be turned into a refuse heap on account of this. May the God who has caused his name to dwell there overthrow any king or people who attempts to change it, so as to destroy that house of God in Jerusalem. I, Darius, have issued this decree. It is to be carried out with all diligence. The temple completed and dedicated. Then Tatnai, the governor of the province beyond the Euphrates River, Shetharboznai, and their colleagues carried out the decree with all diligence, just as King Darius had ordered. And the elders of the Jews were successful in building throughout the prophecy of Haggai the prophet and Zechariah the son of Iddo. And they finished building following the command of the God of Israel and the decree of Darius, and Artaxerxes, king of Persia. Now this temple was completed on the 3rd day of the month Adar. It was the 6th year of the reign of King Darius, and the sons of Israel, the priests, the Levites, and the rest of the exiles, celebrate the dedication of this house of God with joy. They offer for the dedication of this temple of God 100 bulls, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and as a sin offering for all Israel, 12 male goats corresponding to the number of the tribes of Israel. Then they appointed the priests to their divisions and the Levites in their sections for the service of God in Jerusalem, as it is written in the book of Moses. And then the Passover held. The exiles held the Passover on the 14th month of the first month. For the priests and the Levites had purified themselves together, all of them were pure. Then they slaughtered the Passover lambs for all the exiles, both for the brothers, the priests, and for themselves, and the sons of Israel who returned from exile, and all those who had separated themselves from the impurity of the nations of the land to join them to seek the Lord God of Israel in the Passover. And they held the feast of unleavened bread for 7 days with joy, because the Lord had made them the Lord made them happy and had turned the heart of the king of Assyria toward them to encourage them in the work of the house of God, the God of Israel. So, chapter 6, Darius finds the decree that King Cyrus had instituted so that it could fulfill the construction of the house of the Lord, of course. And they continue work, and the temple is completed and dedicated. And to celebrate, they had offerings, sin offerings, and they appointed priests to minister these offerings and stuff. And they held the Passover on the 14th of the first month, and they slaughtered and celebrated the Passover. And once again, the temple of the house is restored to order. So, chapter 6 is the building of the house of the Lord, reconstruction, rebuild the house of the Lord, restoration to tip-top condition. So, that's chapters 1 through 6. So, we're going to continue later on, probably at night. So, Cyrus gives the order, and vessels are restored. And chapter 2, the people who were captive are restored, including the citizens and the priests and the people of service, Levites, and more. Chapter 3, the altar is restored and the sacrifices as well. And chapter 4 and 5, the people attempt to put an end to the construction for jealousy. And chapter 5, they write to Darius. And chapter 6, Darius finds the decree that allows the house of the Lord to be completed. And they complete it, and they offer to dedicate to the Lord. So that's what's going on. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back soon. BRB. All right.